Well, the thing about sleep is that there really are no sleepers anymore in the draft because every team has so much access to these players, to information about them, films of every play they've ever run. So, to think that any of these players are unknowns when they get into the draft process, it just doesn't happen anymore. But what does happen is you'll get a player like Joe Flacco, who's the quarterback from Delaware. He played at Pittsburgh. He couldn't beat out, or wasn't given a chance to beat out Tyler Palko, who's also in the NFL now as the third stringer. He transfers to Delaware, and he leads Delaware to the national championship game this year in 1AA. They lost the game, but Flacco really showed a lot of promise. Then he goes to the postseason, the combines, and the All-Star games, and he excels. Terrific arm, big guy, pretty smart player, and all of a sudden his stock is surged, and he might not go in the first round, but he should go very high in the second round. So that's the kind of player you'll see nowadays. Not so much a sleeper, but a guy who's got some sort of situation in college where he wasn't that well known. It could also happen that maybe a player was a backup for 3 years in college and then finally gets to start in his fourth year and plays very well. And then he goes higher in the draft than you would have expected before that. He's not a sleeper, but people have discovered off the 1 year that he got to play how much he can do. And another thing is, and this is interesting, some teams from certain schools, the schools have not had good teams in the last few years, but a player may have been very good. I'm thinking of Rashard Mendenhall, a running back at Illinois. That team was terrible for a few years. This year, it was a good team, it was a bowl team, and he was the main reason. And then all of a sudden, he's a top 15 pick, which will probably happen on Saturday.